Hey gang, welcome to Mzansi USA News. Oftentimes we as black people have an excuse that is, of course, predicated or based on a foundation of a low self esteem. A low self esteem that is always attributed to apartheid by many. But I attribute it to wrong education given by the African National Congress in the last 30 years. Apartheid is long dead, good people, save that some um, individuals who are race hustlers are seeking to agitate us by keeping apartheid in ICU instead of burying it because it's long dead. The problem here that we have here a gentleman who is a mayor. He is a mayor, and instead he's exalting his blackness. And I want you to listen to what he says here, and you tell me if it makes sense to you. The city of Johannesburg is in a mess. The city of Johannesburg has recently increased and started charging people who are on prepaid meters for electricity 230 rands a month. This, of course, has caused an outcry, considering that the prices of everything have gone up. As a result, the city right now, as we speak, they are reconsidering their position. But this was not necessary. You drive through the city of Joburg, the sewage or sewerage smelling, particularly at night. If you drive at night, it's very difficult to drive. There's potholes all over. I'm talking about very decent suburbs here. There's potholes all over, and if you are not careful, you may injure yourself seriously to a point of endangering your own life. So you have to drive literally at 60 to 80 kilometers an hour. Even the highway is starting to manifest these same potholes, which is completely ridiculous, right? We know about what happened in Bree Street, where there was an explosion, and this explosion has not been explained to us properly as to what is the reason for the explosion. They have a budget that they've set aside for resurfacing of the roads at 100 kilometers per year. That's not good enough, considering that the city of Joburg has got 14,000 kilometers worth of roads. So when you consider that, then you understand why in the first place you can't budget for 100 kilometers when you've got a surface of 14,000, because that means you'll only be able to complete that in 140 years. And that's completely not acceptable, whichever way you want to look at it, right? The city of Joburg is plagued by manifold problems. It requires a strategic thinker. It requires a person who has a high value for lawfulness, a high value for lack of tolerance of crime, lack of tolerance of nonsense, a high value of the business acumen to be able to negotiate investors to come and invest in the city of Johannesburg, to make it appealing, to make it attractive. Cape Town doesn't just have those investments flogging in there, they are being invited by the party that is running the city of Cape Town. This is very, very important. But if you major in minors like this gentleman who's a mayor, listen to what he says, to what he has said as the reason why he's being criticized. Listen to this.
When you are a black child from Soweto, you have to have certain expectations where you can qualify as a human being. They don't perceive me as such. And I think we cannot continue allowing racism to prevail unabated. Where I am right now is as a result of hard work that has been put in the process and in the job itself. I'm practically trying to inspire the youth that we seek to liberate in saying that there are no limitations to what they would like to achieve, especially if their heart is in the right place. What I can say about civil society, it's a clarion call to send a warning to the black child to say stay away from changing the narrative of black people. And that's what I'm here to stand against, and that's what I'm here to fight to the end.
So you heard what this gentleman is saying. When you're a child from Soweto, you have to have certain expectation to qualify as a human being. What does that even mean? It's just nothing but mumbo jumbo, good people. Okay? You can't at all material times when you have to deliver. You know what? A debit is a debit whether you're a black or a white person. A credit is a credit whether you're a black or white person. Generally accepted accounting practices, risk management, engineering knows no skin color. Law, all of these disciplines, economics, they require an IQ an IQ high enough to understand what is required to discharge your obligations and responsibilities. You cannot be a mayor, for example, and talk like this. You are a mayor, you are black. The premier is black. The president is black. And this is how you talk? There is something absolutely wrong with your mental fortitude, with your understanding of how things ought to be. The country is 80% black. You are a mayor of the biggest city, the economic hub, and you are still telling us about your genesis from Soweto and how that you need to qualify according to certain perceptions to be a human being. Why are you even entertaining such folly in the first place? It makes absolutely no sense. This person is a failure, he has failed, and here are the real reasons why we don't want him. I'm black and I don't want him as what you call in the city of Johannesburg to be a mayor. Why? He's failing the city. A young boy here that they're trying to get rid of, bring Silas in Swane, is doing a wonderful job, comparatively speaking. This is absolute nonsense, good people. Wake up and focus on what you are benefiting. The city of Joburg is filthy, it's dirty, has ginormous potholes the size of my cars. It's completely not acceptable. Completely not acceptable. Okay? It's exploding everywhere. Crime. Need I continue? And this person is a mayor, and he thinks that is okay. We should accept it just because, he's a young black person who needed to qualify according to others' perceptions, whether he's a human being or not. If you still don't know at his age that you are a human being and you need to do nothing to qualify as such, you shouldn't be a mayor in the first place. If a simple biology that children get to know at 3 that they are actually humans, right? You still need to qualify according to certain individuals' perceptions. There's something wrong with you. There is seriously something wrong with you. You are suffering from a psychosis. And for me, this individual is suffering from what Ndlozi was describing in Parliament, a real psychosis of cognitive dissonance. Okay? Now, listen to why the city of Joburg is going the way it is.
In an act of real desperation, try and levy 200 Rand on the poorest of the poor, 200 Rand a month on the poorest of the poor as an electricity surcharge. Have I got that correct?
Yeah, on the prepaid meter customers, yeah. 230 Rand with
230. And these are not people, the rich end of the market. This is the poor end of the market. That has been rebuffed badly by citizens, as you would expect, because there's been no consultation.
Yeah. So I think, look, Mike, what we have now evidence of is, yes, Joburg is decaying. We have a broke city. And it's badly managed. It's as simple as that. It's not being managed proactively. Somebody remarked to me years ago that if we're not careful, Joburg's suburbs will have dirt roads in time to come. And that's not wrong, not far wrong. There's 14,000 kilometers of roads in Gauteng. 14,000. They've got a budget to resurface 100 kilometers a year. So just on a hiding to nothing. There are a number of bridges, a high percentage of bridges that some of the engineers don't even want to drive over. They're that unsafe. There's a report on this. It's gone as far as the presidency because the city doesn't have the money. But our view must be, you do have the funds. You're just misappropriating, misspending, mismanaging the city. So to a large extent. So what we need, the stormwater drainage system, which gives rise to those explosions, if you don't have those cleaned out, and if you don't stop the sewage from flowing into stormwater drainage where methane builds up and one spark creates the explosions that you have, there's going to be more of that. And the buildings catching alight and people dying, and no one is held accountable. Nobody. So we need new management. We need to sort the city out. And there's less than 30 months to the next local elections. And I think between now and then,
I can't agree more. The video is brought to you by courtesy of State of the Nation address, South Africa. I can't agree more, by the way, with this gentleman from OUTA. And OUTA is not a political organization. So OUTA is an independent, it's not a political party. It's a non-profit organization, which obviously stands up for taxpayers like you and me, because they stand up against abuse of tax. This is very, very important, of tax money. This is very, very important, because we cannot have a scenario where you budget for 100 kilometers when you have a road surface of 14,000. When are you going to finish? What's wrong with this? You have a city mayor who is not an engineer, who knows nothing about engineering or accounting or economics. How did he then become a city mayor? How are you going to convince me that you are making a dent on the pothole crisis which we have if you are only budgeting 400 kilometers out of 14,000 kilometers? And indeed, the city of Joburg is being poorly managed. No doubt in my mind about it. You look at the wasteful expenditure year in, year out that comes out of that. I don't need to make this video very lengthy. All I simply need to find out from you, what do you think? Do you think that the mayor's recall is warranted? Or indeed the mayor has a point when he seems to think that he's being attacked because he's a black child from Soweto? So what? So what? Who cares about where you come from? I don't. I'm black and I don't care about where you come from. When you're in the public domain, good people, you are there to deliver, regardless of how that you were raised by a single mother. Okay? If those things are important to you, do not come to the public domain. None of us care about that. What we care about is that the roads in which we drive are properly surfaced so that our tires do not burst because we've hit potholes and our lives are not compromised. I mean, look at the hospitals in the city of Joburg. It's a mess. You know, there's so much wrong with the city of Joburg. I don't want to make a lengthy video, but the mayor, in my view, must go. What do you guys think? You tell me down below. Okay, until the next video. Ciao, ciao. Let me love you and leave you. Ciao, ciao. Bye for now.